You see a dress on Shein for $3. $3. That's less than a cup of coffee. But here's what nobody tells you. That dress has traveled 8,000 miles, been touched by dozens of hands, and its true cost? It's way darker than you think. This is the story of how Shein became a $100 billion giant by breaking every rule in the book. Shein adds 6,000 new styles to its website every single day. Not every month. Every single day. To put that in perspective, Zara adds about 500 items per week. H&M? Even less. So how is a company that nobody had heard of 10 years ago now worth more than H&M and Zara combined? The answer will shock you. Let's start with the obvious question. How can a dress cost $3? Think about it. Someone had to design it. Someone had to source the fabric. Someone had to cut it, sew it, package it, ship it halfway across the world. And somehow, after all of that, Shein still makes a profit selling it for less than a Big Mac. The math doesn't make sense. Unless. Here's Shein's first secret. They don't design anything. Well, not exactly. While traditional fashion brands spend months designing collections, attending fashion shows, predicting trends, Shein just steals. But they've made it into a science. They use AI algorithms that scan social media, Instagram, TikTok, even other fashion websites 24/7. The second something starts trending, their algorithm catches it. Within 3 days, Shein has a knockoff version on their website. 3 days. A small designer posts a unique dress design on Instagram. Shein copies it. A celebrity wears something cool. Copied. Your favorite indie brand launches something new. Already copied. They've been sued hundreds of times. By big brands like Levi's, Ralph Lauren, Dr. Martens. By small independent designers who wake up to find their original designs being sold for $5 on Shein. One designer, Alexia, found over 45 of her unique designs stolen by Shein. But here's the genius part. By the time the lawsuit goes through, those items have already sold millions of units and been removed from the site. Shein just pays a small settlement and moves on. It's cheaper than hiring actual designers. But stolen designs only explain part of the pricing. The real darkness? It's in the factories. In 2021, an undercover investigation in Guangzhou, China found the truth. Workers in Shein's supply chain were working 18-hour shifts. Not occasionally. Every single day. They get 1 day off per month. 1. They're paid per item sewn. One worker said she makes about 3 cents per clothing item. To make a livable wage, she has to make 500 pieces per day. Do the math. That's 1 piece every 2 minutes for 18 hours straight. There's no employment contract. No health insurance. Some factories had windows barred shut. Why? Because the suicide rate was so high they didn't want workers jumping out. And it gets worse. Tests done on Shein clothing found lead levels 20 times higher than safe limits. In children's jackets. Why? Because using safe, regulated materials costs more money. But Shein's response? We take these allegations seriously and are committed to improvement. That was 3 years ago. Investigations last year showed nothing has changed. Here's where it gets really insane. Traditional fashion works in seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. Brands design collections months in advance. Shein has no seasons. They use something called real-time fashion. Their algorithm tells them exactly what's trending right now. They produce small batches, 50 to 100 pieces. If it sells out in hours, they make more. If it doesn't, they never make it again. This is why their prices are so low. They're not taking risks. They know exactly what will sell before they make it. No waste, no unsold inventory sitting in warehouses. But here's the cost. To make this system work, they need factories that can turn around orders in 3 days. The only way to do that, treat humans like machines. There are suppliers who literally sleep in the factory. They wake up, so sleep, repeat. Some workers reported not seeing daylight for weeks. Fast fashion is already terrible for the environment, but Shein took it to another level. The fashion industry produces 10% of global carbon emissions, more than all international flights and shipping combined. Shein alone produces 6.3 million tons of CO2 every year. But the real problem is waste. Because Shein's clothes are so cheap, people treat them as disposable. The average Shein item is worn 3 times before being thrown away. 3 times. And these clothes don't biodegrade. That $3 polyester dress? It'll be in a landfill for 200 years, releasing microplastics into the soil and water the entire time. 85% of textiles end up in landfills each year. That's 1 garbage truck of clothes being dumped every second. And Shein is accelerating this at an unprecedented rate. Here's a stat that should terrify you. In 2022, Shein was responsible for more carbon emissions than entire countries. We're talking more than Portugal, more than New Zealand. But none of this would matter if people stopped buying. So why don't they? Shein has gamified shopping. When you open their app, it's designed like a slot machine. Spin the wheel for discounts. Flash sales that end in 2 hours. Points, levels, rewards. They've studied casino psychology and applied it to clothing. That little dopamine hit when you get a deal, they've engineered it. And the prices are so low that buying feels consequence-free. It's only $5, what's the harm? But you don't buy one thing. The average Shein order is 40 items. 40. They also use influencer marketing better than anyone. They send free hauls to TikTokers. Those #Shein haul videos have billions of views. Young girls watching someone open 50 items for $100, thinking, I need that. The company spent $2 billion on marketing in 2023, more than they spent on worker wages. Here's what keeps me up at night. Shein's model is winning. In 2023, they were the most downloaded shopping app in America. They beat Amazon. They beat Walmart. Gen Z loves them. And now, other companies are copying Shein's model. Amazon launched Fashion by Amazon with the same strategy. Even traditional brands are speeding up production to compete. Shein has forced a race to the bottom. And the people paying the price aren't the customers getting cheap clothes. It's the workers sewing in those factories. It's the environment. It's the small designers getting their work stolen. But Shein is preparing to go public. They're expected to have one of the biggest IPOs in history. The people running this system will become billionaires. The founder, Shein, is already worth an estimated $25 billion. He's never given a public interview, never shown his face. He operates in complete secrecy while building an empire on the backs of exploited workers. So why is Shein so cheap? Because they don't pay designers, they steal designs. Because they don't pay workers fairly, they exploit them. Because they don't care about the environment, they destroy it. Because they've built a system where everything is disposable, including human dignity. That $3 dress isn't cheap. Someone paid for it. Just not with money. The real question is, now that you know this, what are you going to do about it? Look, I'm not here to judge anyone for buying from Shein. We all make choices based on what we can afford. But we should at least know what we're supporting. There are alternatives. Thrift stores, second-hand apps, clothing swaps. Brands that actually pay their workers. They cost more, yes. But that's because they're paying the true cost. If this video changed how you see fast fashion, hit that like button. Subscribe for more stories about the dark side of business. And drop a comment. Have you bought from Shein before? Will you again? Because the only way this changes is if enough people say, I'm not okay with this anymore. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more unbelievable business stories.